are back with the second rapid game between the Triveni Continental Kings and the upGrad Mumba Masters. It's a do-or-die situation. Tanya, who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for chess right now, but that man on the screen, Levon Aronian, has been on fire. He takes down Maxime Vacher-Lagrave. He's been the icon slayer, and this is going to be a big board. Maxime Vacher-Lagrave with the white pieces. Peter said he's going to go for blood.
Yes, and he's opened his game with d4, and Maxime generally likes to play king pawn. Those two pawns in the center look so beautiful, and now the bishop wants to capture the black pawn which is there. So Levon instantly says, I'm not going to let you do that, and develops the knight hitting that central pawn.
So basically, if white takes this pawn, black is going to take this pawn.
Exactly.
Yes.
But even after that, Levon is simply a pawn up. In chess, the first thing that you want to do after removing your pieces is to castle, and that's what he needs to do. Maybe make some space for the king to castle with moving the bishop.
Absolutely.
This is the board which scored the big point for the upGrad Mumba Masters in the only win for the upGrad Mumba Masters in match 1. And Jonas looking tense there because the position is absolute fire. Sindarov once again going hyper aggressive with his pawns on the king side, challenging the center, asking big questions. And now Jonas decides to trade that very important knight.
Yeah, I mean, look at that king, right, Tanya, in the center. I think right now, actually, Sindarov is the one who has the white pieces here.
Absolutely, Sagar. And both kings are in the center. Big questions as there is a face-off at the very center within these two important pawns. And because this position is so complicated, it's a good time to reach out to Master Swidler with his thoughts at the madness on the board.
Yeah, this is a very exciting position and hard to assess. At first I thought the black knight looking so beautiful in the center of the board must ensure that black is doing quite well. But I think in the battle of two uncastled kings, it's easier to imagine how white king becomes safe rather than the black king. So I started leaning towards Sindarov doing quite well here. But it's still a very messy position.
As Master Swidler just said, I think the biggest advantage right now that white has are her knights. Look at that, those knights for white, beautifully positioned there. No one can kick it away. And the other knight also on the other side of the board creating some threats.
At two different edges of the board, but creating their own play. And we also see that bishop on g2. That is one strong piece, really
Of course not
controlling
like
the
this.
long diagonal. Very often, the queen that we see can jump over to the king side on that h5 square. But watch out, there is one weakness in white's camp, and that is that d3 pawn currently under attack.
Wow.
Absolutely, but with the black king stuck in the center, I don't think we need to care about that pawn at all. I would go for an all-out attack of some sort. I like this move. I was looking at this move in
Wow,
particular,
F4,
just
breaking the
completely
center.
ignoring the black counterplay and saying I want to go for mate. Because on the other hand, if black manages to develop the bishop that is next to the king and castle king side, black will not be doing so poorly. So you need to achieve something right this moment. And I think this move is played in exactly the right spirit by Harika.
It looks so dangerous. It's attacking the king. The knight is here. It's going to give a discovery to the queen.
Yeah,
There are some tactics in the air here.
I like MVL's position.
But where is Levon?
Ooh, Levon is... I think-
Levon's chilling? What is going on? He is chilling. He's taking a look at the other boards. That is a sign of confidence right there. This is a rapid game. You got almost just about 12 minutes on the clock. And there you are, taking a look at your teammate. And we see Alexander Grishchuk there. He's not even looking at his table currently. But again, we see the players constantly do this. They are so keen to know what's happening on their teammates' board to take decisions. Sameh, you were talking about the knights. This is a very unique formation where we've got three knights at the center of the board. A very thematic opening Slav outcome.
Yeah, I like what I like for white is that his pieces are more active. I mean, look at these two knights in the center of the game. This bishop is eyeing the king. But this bishop, on the other hand, is eyeing nowhere. So, which is why I think white is doing slightly better. However, Sagar,
Yeah.
this king is feeling pretty weak over here. I mean, look at this king so nicely in the castle. It's very, very difficult to penetrate that fortress. But here, I think anything can go wrong very easily.
I think surely the king is slightly exposed. But Tanya, I think you are a big expert at this opening, right?
I do play this opening with white, and I've loved playing this opening with white.
Her final move is this very quiet little short move by the queen. When her rook is hanging, her pawn on c4 is also hanging, but it creates this massive threat of bishop takes h6. attacking the G7 pawn because G7 pawn is pinned, and that just takes precedence over everything else in this position. This threat is unbelievably strong. And
Wow.
next, white could also come in with a knight to D6. Notice how the black pawn in the center is now a white pawn because it got captured, and the knight now has a very, very nice outpost on D6 for the future. This looks very natural. The only reason I think she might not do it is that there are other moves which are also looking quite attractive. You can go for a rook lift with rook f4, rook g4 perhaps. So there are definitely some other options which are available to her, but my mind is very drawn to this idea of just immediately putting the knight on the best square on the board and going from there.
We have a result. Board number 3 is done. And is it a draw? Yes, it is. Vidit Gujarati draws against Vei, which is actually a good result because Vei has been in scintillating form. Can we quickly look at the icon board? Because it seems like Levon Aronian might once again strike today.
What?
Yeah, he looks slightly better already with the black pieces.
That would be crazy if Lev takes 2 points on the icon board in this big match.
I'm getting really excited, guys. I think the UMM Masters are slightly doing better in this entire game right now.
I'm getting excited as well as the clocks are running low. We are heading to decisive results. Samay, they might be better, but you know, these formats are so difficult to predict. We've seen turnarounds in those very last seconds, and that's exactly what the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League is about. It's not over till it's over.
Javokir Sindarov is completely winning against Jonas Bjerre, it seems. The last move, pawn capturing the pawn, is a big mistake if we can get the analysis board here.
Oh man, now this pawn is completely loose. You can take it with the rook.
Yeah, you can take the pawn with the rook,
And
and,
then-
he takes it.
And then
does
I
it.
think queen e3 is just winning, right? We can stop the black rook from giving a check from h6, and we're also creating a seemingly unstoppable threat of queen g5 check. At least that's my initial reaction.
I
And he's
think
shaking,
so.
he is nodding his head. He knows he's calculated the lines. This is winning.
And now he'll
A
have
very
to
precise play.
He will have to hope his wife doesn't win on board 4, which is a bit of an awkward.
Handshakes, we've got results.
Oh.
Alexander Grishchuk takes a big point for the upGrad Mumba Masters.
Oh my God,
The
so let's
score
go.
is 4-3 now in the favor of upGrad Mumba Masters.
Let's
Should
go.
we quickly have
Let's
a look
go
at
to
it?
the icon board, guys.
No,
this
it's
is
a draw.
unbelievable.
It's a draw right now. Sorry, my
Why would
mistake.
you do
No,
this
they
to me?
drew,
And
they
so
drew,
we
they
catch
drew.
the final moments
Okay.
as the match does finish. A draw on that board. A big hold by Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. It looked like he was in a little bit of trouble. And Levon, 1.5 out of 2 in this final.
Can we quickly have a look? If Harika has won, isn't the match over almost?
Yeah, we have only one
Sindarov
game
is
left.
also
No, two,
beating
two.
Jonas Bjerre once again. That game featured more twists and turnarounds than your average snake, but appears to be going in favor of the upGrad Mumba Masters. TCK continuing to struggle on the Prodigy board, scoring 0 out of 2 today.
And here we see 15 seconds. He has to make a move. He reaches out for the rook. Is he going to give a check? And
Yes,
he does it.
Board number 4 is done right now, and I think that one ended in a draw, which means that the match is effectively over.
Wow, it means even if Black by some miracle won this game, they only get 1 win. It will not be enough. We've got a tiebreaker in our
Yeah.
hands. Blitz is coming up.
Guys, in this situation, shouldn't like Jonas just resign the game and conserve his energy for the blitz instead of playing and fighting on this board?
I think he doesn't know right now because the last board just ended. But yeah, you're right, Samay. Maybe knowing that what he's defending is not going to give anything for his team because they've already lost the match, he can resign.
Yeah, I mean, just save energy because you have a very stressful match coming up.
But there's also a psychological element, right? Like if you resign, then you're like you've given up. While if you can save this position, then in the next blitz game, you will be like, oh, I have done it. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think you can make an argument from both sides. In his particular spot, I think just sitting there staring at a position which is as bad as this probably is not a favorable thing to do. But if you had slightly more drawing chances, of course, I think you should play on.
Right, right.
The suffering is not going to continue for too long. White goes in with the rook. You can't now stop the pawn from queening. He has to give up more material to do the
gives
same.
up the knight.
And he's losing his knight there. But already the match is over. 9-3 is the score. Even if black wins, it would be 9-7.
There we had GM Srinath, who's the
and
coach.
What do you think they're
Team.
discussing? A team strategy for the blitz here.
Right. I think they are just they have the black pieces in game one, in match one, right? So they have to go and play. Maybe he's just discussing some openings. What should you play? Should you go all out? Should you take risks?
What a nice atmosphere. So much stress in this image. Look at this. So much stress. And here we have finally some stretching also now.
Javokir
By
Sindaro is such a fighter, right? He scored 2 out of 2 for his team in this finals. Beautiful play.
Just
Yeah.
amazing stuff
You
on
know-
the Prodigy board.
I was reading somewhere that playing chess actually burns a lot of calories. Is it because of these dancing moves that Javokir is doing?
I think it's more out of stress, Samay. You are so tensed, and I think in a team tournament, you lose even more weight, I think.
Yeah,
I
the one
wish-
team that's very stressed right now is the Triveni Continental Kings because they now have to do it all over again going into the best of 2 blitz. Very often, this is the time that the teams are deciding what opening approach to do for the next game.
Yes.
Because in blitz, if you can surprise your opponent early on, that's a big win.
True, and there's resignation. 12-3. What a dominating victory for the upGrad Mumba Masters.
Wow. And this is what everyone wanted. A blitz tiebreak. 3+2.